Hello, we are going to talk about South Korea and Chile. This is our group. We begin by talking a bit about Chile, which was the first Latin American country to have a trade liberalization. This process aimed to increase the competitiveness of exports. Chile has had a high relationship between exports and GDP. This growth for Chile has been through natural resources-based manufactures.
Considering the size of each economy, Chile is found to attract more investment than the other three members of the Pacific Alliance, as its net inlay of ETI over GDP was 7.3% in 2013. Exports growth to Korea began in the mid-2000s and was driven in part by rising commodity prices. Chile had a trade relation with Korea and since 1990 reported an increase in exports mainly due to the FTA between the two countries. Korea became one of the top 10 market destinations for export from Pacific Alliance countries. For Chile, this ranked fifth. The picture is quite different for imports. Korea is the seventh country of origin of Chile's imports.
Important date from Chile. The FTAs that Chile, Colombia, and Peru have with Korea give them access to the fourth largest economy in Asia, with an annual GDP of 1.3 trillion and a population of 50 million. During the negotiation process with Korea, all the countries analyzed showed some incentives in specific sectors: Chile in steel, footwear, and new tires. Chile offered Korea 44.7% of its tariff lanes for immediate elimination, 54.1% in a real period of no more than 14 years, and 1.2% of the total lines were excluded for tariff elimination. The Korea-Chile FTA has most of it due to the DDA category, where preferential treatment negotiated after the conclusion of the WTO Doha round will be granted.
For the future, one of the biggest challenges of Chile is the diversification of its exports to Korea. This for the reason that Korea demands a lot of food for its benefit in the Asian market. In Chilean products such as fresh fruits, fish, and seafood, but in turn improving the quality and its presentation packaging. And also, Chilean entrepreneurs exporting to Korea must also understand the needs of Koreans. In this way, Chile can benefit from the FTA with Korea without losing competitiveness, so that free access to these products continue to be allowed.
Infrastructure and logistics for exports of fresh fruits from Chile to Korea. The analysis is focused on two products, grapes and blueberries. Grapes are the main fresh fruit export to Korea. Grapes export to Korea came from the region of O'Higgins.
Chile has been exporting fresh fruits as well as other products for more than 30 years and has an excellent internal export logistics of its own and optimally developed.
Chile has two important ports, Valparaiso and San Antonio. Its largest export is of fresh fruits, where 61.1% of these are destined for Asia. Of these exports, 51% are made from the port of Valparaiso. Chile's fruits for export have a route to Busan port in Korea. The cost of this is $1.50 per kilo and $2.70 per kilogram by air transport, being in this way a low cost, allowing Chilean fruits to reach the Asian and Korean market, thus having adequate infrastructure that allow a 29-day transit between the American West Coast, Mexico, Central America, and finally Asia.
We'll mainly talk about the evaluation of certain products from Chile and the entry of the Chile-Korea FTA. An example of one of the important products, blueberries and grapes. A key fact is that the export of this fruit takes place by sea, since the costs are lower. This proves that Chile is the largest exporter of these fruits worldwide.